Hello people, welcome to this special tutorial. Now this special tutorial has been put together by all CBT to prepare you for the oncoming common entrance exam into, of course, the secondary school. Now for the NCEE or the common entrance assessment test, you will be tested on the general paper section on these subjects. So this subject comprises the general paper assessment test. You have quantitative reasoning, you have social studies and civic education, you have verbal reasoning, you have basic science, and then you have civic education or national values education. Now I've taken few from each of these categories to put together in this top 40 most likely questions that you would encounter in your upcoming NCEE General Paper assessment test. So if you are yet to be subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so now, and also check the channel for the one I did on mathematics and the other subjects as English, quantitative reasoning, verbal, and all of that. Right? Now let's get into it. Now we're starting with the quantitative section. We would take 10 questions for this quantitative section. We have the first question from 2019. The year that you see the question in front means that that's the year the question was taken from. Right? So you can make reference to the question by, if you have a question pack or the common entrance pack, just go to this year 2019 and you can find the question in there. So find the value of x if 3x plus y equals to 22. So this is the simple calculation for it. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible and yet less time consuming. I want you to understand it. So you have 3x plus 7 equals to 22. Now in this equation, we want 3x to stand alone, to be the subject of the formula. We want to free x. In order for us to free x, we have to make 3x to stand on its own. Currently, 3x is standing with 7 on the left-hand side, while 22 is standing on its own. So in order for us to make 3x to stand on its own, we have to move 22 to the other side. Alright? It's either we move it to the other side or we subtract 7 from both sides to eradicate or eliminate the 7. So if we go with the latter, that's subtracting 7 from both sides, all we'll have is what? 3x plus 7 minus 7 equals to 22 minus 7. So by the time you say plus 7 minus 7, you know what you will have is what? 0. So plus 7 minus 7 will give you what? 0. So you can equally just cancel it like that or cross it out. So we've been able to successfully let our 3x to stand on its own. Equals to what? 22 minus 7. That will give you 15. Now remember, the end goal is to make x to stand on its own. So we have to now divide both sides by 3 so that x can stand on its own. We can get the value for x. So if we divide both sides by 3, what are we going to have? This 3 will cancel this 3. Then 3 and 15, you have 5. So the value of x is what? 5. Now if you want to be sure if what you have done is correct, just substitute 5 into wherever you see x in the equation. Right? So this is the equation. Never forget, this is the equation. So if you want to be sure if what your answer here is correct, where you see x, put 5 and then see if you get 22. So let's try that. Let's say that will be what? 3 times 5 plus 7 equals to what? 3 times 5, 15, plus 7 equals to 22. So our answer is definitely correct. So the correct option is what? Option B. Now let's see question 2 now. From 2018. The average of 8, 12, 10, and 6 is dash. The average. What's the average? It means sum up all these numbers together and divide it by the amount of numbers, or the total unit of numbers. How many numbers do we have here? We have 8, 12, 10, and 6. We have 4 numbers. So we sum up these 4 numbers together, then we divide them by the total amount of numbers we have. So we have, let me do it here, okay? We have 8 plus 12 plus 10 plus 6. Okay, so 8 plus 12, that's 20. 20 plus 10, 30. 30 plus 6, you have 36, right? So you have 36. How many numbers do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 numbers. So 36 divided by 4. What will be the average? So the average is what? 9. Right? You see that? So that's how we got it. Question 3. From the year 2021. A trader bought rice for 12,000 naira and sold it for 15,000 naira. Profit percentage is what? That means, what is the profit percentage? First of all, the first question is, did the trader make profit or loss? He bought a bag of rice for 12,000 and sold it at 15,000. Did he make profit or loss? From this question, you can definitely agree that he made profit because he bought the rice for 12,000 and sold it for 15,000. So he made profit. How much profit did he make? Looking at it, we can say he made 3,000 naira profit. But the challenge here now is that we are asked to put the profit in percentage, right? So that 3,000 naira he made, we want to know what is that percent of that 3,000 over the total amount of money, over the total selling price. So that's what we're going to do now. The formula for that is this: selling price minus cost price over selling price times 100 over 1. That's the formula for percentage profits. So from your question, just impute the parameters and solve. Your selling price means the amount the trader sold the goods, the rice. And how much did he sell it for? 15,000. So he sold it for 15,000. Cost price, the amount he bought it. How much did he bought it for? 12,000. Then selling price again, which is 15,000. So you what? You subtract. So 15,000 minus 12,000, like we already established, that's 3,000. So you have 3,000 over 15,000. So 0 will take this one out. This 0 will take this 0 out. This 0 will take this 0 out. So what do you have here? You have 1 over 15. Right? You have 1 over 5, rather. 1 over 5. So then you multiply. You have 1 times 100 over 5. And that will be what? 20. So because it's in percentage, you have it at 20%. Right? So 1 times 100 over 5, that's 20. So 20%. So the correct answer there is what? Option A. Now let's go to the next question, question 4. If a rectangle has length 12 cm and breadth 3 cm, find its perimeter. Now, this is a simple one. What's the formula for calculating the perimeter of a rectangle? Formula for calculating the perimeter of a rectangle is what? 2 length plus breadth. Right. So 2 length plus breadth. Simple. This is the formula. Once you know the formula, in fact, for most mathematics problems, once you know the formula, you can basically solve the maths problem. So 2, open bracket, length plus breadth, close bracket. What's the length of the rectangle from here? You can see it's explicitly stated, 12. So we solve the bracket first. What is inside the bracket first, according to the law of body mass? And then, what's the breadth? If. So 12 plus 8 is what? 20. So 2 times 20, that's what? 40 centimeter. So the perimeter of the rectangle is what? 40 centimeter. Question 5. A boy has 200 naira. He spends 40% of it. How much is left? A boy has 200 naira. he spent 40% of how much is left. So first of all, let's say this is the boy. This is the boy. He has what? 200 naira. Now he spent 40% of it. Spent 40% of it. So how much is left? To know what the value of 40% of 200 naira would be, we have to know the value of 1% first. So the value of 1% of 200 naira will be what? I told you that whenever you hear percentage, it means by 100, right? It's either you are multiplying by 100 or you are dividing by 100. Whenever you hear the word percentage. So the value of 1% of 200 will be what? 200 divided by 100. Is that clear? Okay, so 1% of 200 will be what? 200 divided by 100. So, and then 200 divided by 100 will be what? Just 2. Will be 2. So 40%. So if 1% of 200 is 2, 40% of 200 will be what? Of 200 will be what? That will be simply 2 times 40, right? 2 times 40, which will be 80. Is that true? True. So he spent 40%. So we have seen that 1% is 2 naira. 40%, we have also seen that 40% is what? 80 naira. So how much is left? He has 200 naira. Let me erase this part. So he has 200 naira. He spent 40%, which is 80 naira. How much is left? 200 minus 80. He's left with 120 naira. Alright? Question 6 now. Express 3/4 as a percentage. So percentage simply means by 100, like I told you before. So you are multiplying 100 to 3/4. So what you have is what? 3/4 times 100. Simply. So 3 times 100, that's 300 over what? Over 4. By the time you do your division, 4 in 30, you have 7, right? You have 7, remain what? 2. 4 in, put that 2 on the other 0, it's now 20. 4 in 20, you have 5. So that becomes what? 75%. Question 7. The sum of 3 consecutive odd numbers is 45. Find the smallest number. Alright, the sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 45. Find the smallest number. So we have 3 numbers. Let's say the first number is what? Let me say first number. Let's say first number is x. Because we don't know the number, so we are calling the first number to, let's say it's x. Then let's say second number. Let's say second number is s plus 2. Then third number. Let's say third number is what? Let's say x plus 4. Okay, because 3 consecutive, it has to be consecutive. So we can't say x plus 3 because it has to be consecutive. So let's say first number is x, second number x plus 2, third number x plus 4. Alright, then we have to sum all these numbers together. Right, so summing them together, what you have is what? X plus 2 plus x plus 4. Right? Good. So you have here, you have 3x plus 6. Now, the sum of 3 consecutive numbers, the sum of this number, 3 consecutive number, equals to what? 45. What is the smallest number? Let's bring our calculation up so that you can see it better. So you have 3x plus 6 equals to 45. Remember what we did in question 1 or question 2 when we wanted 3x to stand on its own. So we are going to put the same law into action here. So we just subtract 6 from both sides. So you have 3x plus 6 minus 6 equals to 45 minus 6. And then you have 3x minus 6 plus 6, 0. So, and then you have 45 minus 6, that's 39. So to let x stand on its own, we are going to divide it by what? By 3. So 3 over 3 will be, 3 will cancel out 3. And then you have 3 here. We are dividing both sides by 3. So x will now be what? 13. So this x we have was what? 13, right? So the first x is what? X is equals to 13. Then the second number, x plus 2, will be what? 13 plus 2, which will be what? 15, right? Good. And then the third number, x plus 4, will be what? 13 plus 4, which will be what? 13 plus 4, 17. So the smallest number is what? 13. This is the correct option. But if you want to be sure if you are correct, you add all these three numbers together, it must give you 45, right? So 13 plus 15, 28. 28 plus 17, 45. You see that now? So you should always try to prove your answer after doing your calculation. Always try to prove your answer by putting it back into the equation or into the question. If it tallies, all right, it proves itself, then you are sure that your answer is correct. Question 8 now. Write 0.35 as a fraction in its simplest term. Now this is a decimal number. You want to write this as a fraction. The simplest way is just to put it over 100, right? Because it's in what? 2 decimal place. It's in the 100th decimal point. So in order to do that, all you need to do is what? Say 0.35 is the same thing as saying what? 35 over 100. Okay, because of course you see that it's in 2 decimal points. 1, 2. 2 decimal place rather. So this is a fraction now, 35 over 100. It now says we have done the first part of the question. Write it as a fraction. That's one. The second part now says in its simplest form. In other words, divide it to the lowest. So dividing this to the lowest, what can go in the numerator and denominator? You have 5. Let's say 5 here, 7. 5 here, 20. There's nothing else that will go in both sides. So this will be our final answer. 7 over 20. Alright, then to question 9. A father is 42 years old and his son is 14 years old. In how many years will the father be twice his son's age? Very simple question. Now, first of all, the father is 42 years old, his son is 14 years old. Thank God we are given these ones. In how many years? So we need to know what their age will be in the future and what the father's age will be in the future. Now, notice it says twice son's age. So whatever we are getting for the son, we have to multiply by 2. Okay, let's get into it. Remember, this question was taken from the year 2023, 2 years ago. Okay, so let's say the father's age, his future age, his present age is 42. But let's say his future age, his age in the future. Future age. Let's say, first of all, let's say the years, because it says in how many years. So let's say, let years be what? Let years be X. So let's say father's years in the future. Father's future years. Future years. Let's say father's future years is what? 42 plus X. That's his current age plus what is future plus his future years. 42 plus X. Let's say son's future years will be what? Let's say 14 plus x. You see that now? Now, some future years will be 2 times of father's future years. So let's say 42 plus x equals to some future years 14 plus x. But because some future years will be 2 times of father's future years, we'll multiply son's future years. Do you get it now? Son will, see now, it says in how many years will father be twice the son's age? No? I'm checking my key, still on. Alright, so 42 plus x equals to 2 times 14. That is twice his age, 28. 2 times x plus 2, multiply everything inside the bracket. 2 times x plus 2x. So we're going to collect like times. Let's bring the things that are related together and put things that are related together. So if we are bringing x together, let's bring x to this side and the numbers to this side, to one side. So if I'm bringing 28 to this side, remember that it will become minus, because currently now it's plus. So 42 plus, minus, like I said, minus 28 equals to, I'm bringing x to this side now, to become what? Minus x, but before now it's plus x. So it will be what? 2x or plus 2x. My plus x is coming here, it becomes minus x. Alright, so 42 minus 28, that will be 14. Because 2x minus x. Do you see that now? So this is the correct option. Answer. The correct answer is what? 14. In how many years will father be twice his son's age? In 14 years. Are you enjoying it? If you're enjoying it this far, make sure you like the video. It suggests to YouTube that the content is good enough and then they can share it to other persons. I'm also trying my best to make sure that I explain it in the simplest way possible for you to understand. But if you still have further questions or you want private session, private tutorial with me, leave it in the comment section and let's look at it together. Okay, we can book a section and I'll be happy to give you private tutorial on these questions or other questions in that you'll be expecting in quantitative reasoning of the general assessment test. Now let's look at the 10th question for quantitative reasoning now. A train travels 120 km in 2 hours. What's the average speed? Now, simply, this one is very simple. And why is it so? Now, the formula for calculating average speed, let me just say AS. Average speed is equals to what? The formula is what? Distance over time. Simple and straightforward. Average speed equals to distance over time. Now, what's the distance? See, say it travel 120 km. Let's say from this point to this point. This is the distance. This distance is 120 km. So 120 km. Then time in how long? 2 hours. So in 2 hours. So we divide 2 in 120 will give us what? 60 km per hour. So that means it traveled 60 km in 1 hour, another 60 km in 1 hour. So 2 hours, it traveled how many kilometers? 120 kilometers. B is the correct option. Next question. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of mathematics. Alright, now we are going to verbal reasoning. Let's see some of these questions. These ones will be so easy. You just be enjoying yourself. So this one is from 2019. Opposite of scarce is what? What is the meaning of scarce? First of all, scarce is when something is in limited quantity. It's not much, it's not available, it's not plenty. It's rare. Okay? So what's the opposite of when something is not much? That means it's much, it's plenty. So opposite of scarce is abundant, there is enough, there is plenty of it. So B is the correct option there. Then question 12. Synonym of brave. What's synonym? Synonym is like another word for, related word for. So synonym of brave, somebody who is brave is what? Courageous. So synonym of brave is what? From this option. Is it weak? No, weak is like opposite. So synonym of brave will be what? Courageous. Not strong. Courageous is somebody who is strong-hearted. Good. Then, question 13 from 2018. Find the odd one out. That means which of these words does not belong to the group. You have mango, which is a fruit. Orange is a fruit. Banana is a fruit. Chair is not a fruit, so chair is odd. Chair does not belong to the group. So correct option is chair. Question 14, 2020. Complete the analogy. Okay, it's an analogy now. Teacher used chalk. Farmer used what? Now you have spade, hoe, cutlass, and axe. Wow, all these are farm tools. Okay, but which of them is most important to a farmer? Like the way chalk is very important to a teacher. Although these days and time, the use of chalk is fading away. So, but which of these is most relevant to the farmer? I will go with O. I will go with O. Yes, because the farmer needs O for his planting. Talking about the local farmers now, needs O for his planting. Can also use it to cut grass. So farmer will always go with O. If you watch many of these local movies, you see O on the farmer's shoulder, right? So the correct option should be O. Question 15 from 2022. Which word is correctly spelled? Okay, the word we are being tested on is accommodate. Just know at the back of your mind, at the back of your head, or somewhere in your mind, that accommodate has 2 C and 2 M. Don't let it confuse you. Don't look at it too much. Just look for the word that has 2 C and 2 M, and that will be B. So that's the correct option. Question 16 from 2017. He is benevolent. He is a benevolent man. Benevolent will mean what? It says harsh, kind, wicked, or proud. Benevolent simply means a charitable person, a kind person, a nice person. So kind is the correct option, not harsh. 17 from 2019. Prefix to form the opposite of legal is what? So first question. The opposite of legal is what? Illegal. Simple. The opposite of legal is illegal. So what do we need to put in front of legal to make it illegal? That's IL, right? So that's option C, IL. And then question 18. She always dash her homework before dinner. She always dash her homework before dinner. The correct option is what? Does. She does her homework before dinner. Good. And then question 19. The plural of ox is what? Is it oxes? Ox. It's oxen. That's like a group, a flock of oxen. Yes, so the plural of ox, when it's more than one, it becomes oxen. And then question 20. Arrange alphabetically. This one, you can even close your eyes and do this one now. Alphabetically means apple will come first, followed by dog, followed by monkey, and zebra will come last. 21 now. Okay, with that we are done with verbal reasoning. So we are moving on to what? Basic science. Now these are the most likely questions you will encounter, so make sure that you are mastering them. 21 from 2019. The gas that women inhale during respiration is what? What's respiration? Simply say respiration is breathing in and out. So the gas that women inhale or breathe in is what? Oxygen. So woman breathes in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So that's option A. 22. The instrument that is used to measure temperature is what? The one that put under your armpit. That's put under your armpit. What I use in the lab, dip it into your solution. Is it barometer, thermometer, hygrometer, compass? Is thermometer. In fact, anywhere you see therm means what? Heat or temperature. So that's thermometer, option B. Okay, question 23. The main source of energy for the earth is dash. Okay, so which of these is the main source of energy for this earth? That's the sun. Some persons may want to go and take fire or electricity. No, sun, earth. You didn't say for the home. If you say for the home, you say electricity. But it says for the earth. So which of these gives the earth, the atmosphere of the earth, energy or power? That's the sun. The most. That's the sun. And then 24 now. From 2021. The organ that pumps blood in the body is what? That's your heart. It's your heart that pumps blood to every other part of your body. That's one of the main functions of the heart. So that's C. Then 25. Boiling water changes to steam by which of these processes? Is it condensation? No, condensation is actually when the water comes into the atmosphere and now cools off. Okay, then you have freezing. No, it's evaporation. Boiling water changes to steam. What's evaporation? The lifting of water molecule into the atmosphere. That's simply what it is. Water molecule or water particle, little droplets of water that you cannot see with your eye. That's thing that's coming out of your kettle. So that's evaporation. It's evaporating. It's going up. It's reducing in the kettle and moving up into the atmosphere. So that's evaporation. 26. Part of a plant that makes food. Which part of this plant is responsible for making food? That's leaf. Through the process of what? Photosynthesis. It reacts with the sunlight by the help of chlorophyll to generate its own food. We were taught this in basic science. Then 27 from 2019. The deficiency of vitamin C causes what? What is vitamin C? What's deficiency, first of all? Deficiency simply means lack or shortage or inadequate. So if somebody is lacking vitamin C, what does it cause? Is it rickets, scurvy, beriberi, kwashiorkor? So what it causes is what? Scurvy. Scurvy is a very bad condition in people that results in weak gums, bloody gums, scurvy. So 28 now. Hardest natural substance on earth is what? What's the hardest natural substance on earth? You have gold, diamond, iron, steel. Some people think it's iron. It's not iron. It's diamond. Diamond is the hardest natural substance on the earth. It's diamond. Of course, iron and steel are also hard, but diamond, especially steel, is way harder than iron. But diamond is the hardest of all. Then 29 from 2020. Sound travels faster through dash. You have air, water, solid or vacuum. Now, sound travels fastest through solid. Yes, sound travels fastest through solid. Then followed by water or liquid. Then followed by air. But in vacuum, sound does not travel at all because there are no particles for it to travel through. Then you have question 30 from 2018. Force that pulls objects to the earth. The force that is often pulling objects to the earth is called what? Gravity. The force of gravity pulls everything up. It's also the reason why airplane crashes, because there is a force that. It's also the reason why when you stand on something, you can fall down because of that force of gravity. Right, so you've come this far, meaning that you've been enjoying the class. So why don't you subscribe to the channel so that you can get more of this for free? And it also boosts our morals, appreciating us with your subscription and with your like and with some nice comments. Also, it helps us feel good and enables us to continue to produce more quality content as this. Remember, it's free, it costs you nothing, right? Good. So do it now. And then question 31. Okay, now we are in social studies and civic education. Now this is about our country, your state. You should know this one. These are things that you are expected to know. That's why you will see them in your exam. The capital of Nigeria is what? Is it Lagos, Abuja, Kano, or Enugu? The capital is actually Abuja, right? In previous times, it was Lagos, several years ago, but it has been moved to Abuja. 32 now. The first executive president of Nigeria was Dash. Now, some people may say Nnamdi Azikiwe. Yes, Nnamdi was the first ceremonial or celebrated president in Nigeria. But the first president that was given the full governing powers, the full powers to rule the country was what? Shehu Shagari. And he actually ruled for, I think, about 4 years. I think it's 1979, thereabouts, using the 1979 constitution. So 1983, he ruled Nigeria before he was dethroned through a coup. Okay. Then 33 now. Now I have an assignment for you. What is a coup? So let me know in the comment section what you know, what you understand by a coup. Okay. Question 33. Nigeria's currency note with Alvan Ikoku's picture is dash. Some of you might not know this, but Alvan Ikoku was one of the premier of education in Nigeria. This man fought for free education, especially for government schools. He also fought a lot during his time. He was a leading voice for the better enumeration of teachers. He wanted teachers to be well taken care of. He was the president of the National Union of Teachers. Yes, and he had great love for education. So much so that at the time, he was honored with the highest honor of the British. Yes, Hope, something like that. So Alvan Ikoku. So for his numerous achievements and contribution, his face was pasted on Nigeria's 10 naira notes. So the correct answer is 10 naira. And then question 34 now. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Yes, by the people, for the people, and of the people. 35 from 2018. River Niger and Benue meet at where? Correct answer is Lokoja. And then 36. Which organ of government makes the law? Which organ of government makes the law? That's the legislatures. Which includes the president. Okay, the president, the ministers. Then you have the executives. Executives, they do what? They enforce the law. And then you have the judiciary, like the courts, the judges. Yeah. Okay. And then we have 37. 2019. The colors of the Nigerian flags are what? And some people may say green, white, green. They may say 3 colors. No, you actually called green 2 times. So it's just green and white. 38. Current Secretary General of the United Nations as of this year, 2025, is what? Antonio Guterres. And then 29. Nigerian coat of arms have 2 animals by both sides. They are the what? They are the horses. There are 2 horses on both sides. Then the last question for this interesting class. The motto of Nigeria is what? It's not peace and unity. Oh. That's the last line of the first stanza of the national anthem. The motto of Nigeria's official coat of arms is what? Unity and faith, peace and progress. So with that we have it, 40 top questions that you are likely to encounter for your general papers. I'm sure you enjoyed this. If you want to practice these questions, you can see the link to download the app and practice them for free on our apps. Okay, make sure you practice more, watch more of the videos in the channel as you get yourself ready for your common entrance examination. I believe you'll succeed, and I'm waiting to hear your testimony. See you later. Bye. Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 type of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao,